So a huge piece of the 49ers discourse right now centers around the offensive line. And for some reason, people are saying they haven't done anything up front yet, which is the opposite of the truth. They actually have re-signed Jon Feliciano and they've extended Colton McKivitz. Those are two starters from last year. And these are significant moves because they not only raise the 49ers floor for 2024, but they also give them the ability to do exactly what people who are complaining about the offensive line right now are complaining about. They give them the ability to invest with big swings in the NFL draft along the offensive line. So if you're going to raise the ceiling of a position room, you actually have to raise the floor first, especially if you're a win now team. You can't let the floor drop out and then just take a big swing at the ceiling, because then you'd be in big trouble. Imagine if the 49ers in 2021 had picked Trey Lance but let Jimmy Garoppolo go, knowing what we do now about Trey Lance being the boomer bust commodity that he was. They wouldn't have made it all the way to the NFC Championship game in 2021 if they're playing Lance as a rookie. So same idea about the offensive line. You have to have a baseline level, and the 49ers baseline level up front last year was good enough to almost win the Super Bowl. I've been the first to talk about the need to improve the offensive line. The 49ers obviously have to do that. Brock Purdy, sensational. Number one efficiency, one of the best efficiency scores we've ever seen by an offensive line, ranked about number 22 in pass block win rate. So everybody gets it. It has to be better, but it already was at a level where the 49ers could accomplish what they did last year. So you bring back all five starters. They're able to get Jon Feliciano at a cost-controlled deal, which is very, very key to mention. We're going to wait for the exact numbers of that contract, but I can guarantee you that wasn't anywhere near what a team like the Rams is paying for their two starting guards, Kevin Dotson and Jonah Jackson. The Rams, that's $16 million for both of those guys each, $16 million each for starting guards. So the offensive line market is overheated right now. The 49ers have realized that they can spend on a cost-controlled basis in the NFL draft for the offensive line. And right now, all they want to do is make sure that they keep it cost-controlled through free agency by maintaining the floor. They can take a big swing at right tackle in the NFL draft. With Colton McKivitz, they actually saved salary cap money in 2024 by extending him. The way that Colton McKivitz extension is set up, I think, is a very, very firm hint of what the 49ers are going to do in the NFL draft, because he costs less money here in 2024 with the extension. He's under team control now through 2025. They gave McKivitz more financial stability with about $4.5 million guaranteed, but the team in return has way more optionality in 2025 to where they could keep McKivitz at a decent rate. And that decent rate means that it's swing tackle money. He can shift into the swing tackle role either this season or next season, and it could still be a financially efficient play for the 49ers based on this extension. So option power is everything. They've set themselves up with a baseline offensive line that's like last year's, and the ability to swing big moving forward. And one of the reasons they're able to do that is because they're taking care of all these other positions too in free agency. You're not going to have to enter the draft worrying about 7 or 8 different spots on the roster that the 49ers have already addressed so far in this free agent period. Walk through San Francisco continues. North Beach, you see Coit Tower, Telegraph Hill behind me. I'm on Filbert right now, so I think Lombard Street's going to be coming up very soon. Maybe we can continue this walk past Lombard. I'm walking from Nob Hill to the Bay, by the way. Some glass on the sidewalk. Got to make sure I don't step on that while I'm doing a video. And we continue. So that's the 49ers plan. One thing that's remarkable to me, and it's very telling of their strategy, is that every single outside free agent that the 49ers have brought in has been on the defensive side of the ball. They haven't brought in a single offensive free agent from another team. So they obviously see a comparative advantage in the market spending on defense. They think that the market hasn't overheated as much on the defensive side, but on the offensive side, especially where they theoretically need a player, an offensive lineman, it has overheated. And I brought up the Kevin Dotson and the Jonah Jackson example. I could bring up the Robert Hunt example. He's somebody I talked about, but he cost Carolina $20 million a year. So this is business 101. The 49ers are spending their money where their money goes further, and they're waiting for the draft where the prices are capped, where you're going to spend based on the rookie wage scale. They're waiting for the draft to be able to get the positions that are too expensive now at a cost-controlled rate. I think that it is a strategy that, obviously, you have to trust what Shanahan and Lynch have already built. They've built the most robust roster in the NFL. They're competing for Super Bowls in each and every year. And using this strategy, which has turned around a barren roster in terms of talent into the one that we see now, they keep on pressing forward with this one. It stands to reason that they're going to continue putting themselves into better and better position to ultimately win that big game. So we're half a block from Lombard Street. What an afternoon, by the way, in San Francisco. I've been out of town for a little bit, so I'm just soaking it all in. Being back here, weather is perfect. I got a lot of good travel on the agenda over the course of the next several months. It's gonna be fun to cover the 49ers off season from everywhere in the world, but always have to make a pit stop back at the home base here in San Francisco. And you're gonna get to see the bottom of Lombard Street, and I think a David Lombardi video about the 49ers pursuing a Lombardi trophy. I think a fitting place to end will be Lombard Street. The twists and turns on the way to the 49ers bid for a Super Bowl. You can see that part of Lombard Street right above me. Hard to see, but that's the famous part. And that's North Beach, and this is me saying goodbye.